What is up, Karatics? So in this video we're going to be discussing the buffs to the Sparrow and the Bombushka in a bit more detail. So for those of you who remember the newswire from a few weeks ago before the DLC released, Rockstar stated they were going to buff the defensive and armor capabilities of the Sparrow and the Bombushka and more, which seemed pretty promising. Upon release of the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC update, in the patch notes Rockstar states they've increased the armor values of both of these aircraft by 50%. So I guess we got the armor part, but what about the defensive buff part for both? I don't know. The countermeasures on weapons appear to be unchanged for both of them. Also, about the and more part, that seems to be omitted as well, as it's only these two aircraft. But regardless, let's see what they did to the Bombushka and the Sparrow in regards to armor. Before the buff, the Bombushka would take 2 homing missiles for half the engines to die, and 3 homing missiles for it to blow up. Now, after the buff, it takes the same 2 homing missiles for the engine to die. However, it takes 4 homing missiles before it completely dies and actually kicks the player out of it, which it didn't before. And then it actually blows up on the 5th homing missile. So at least you have somewhat of an escape of the plane saving you by kicking you out. But obviously, if you're being spammed by rockets at a high fire rate, there's really nothing you can do. In regards to the railgun shots, before it would take 3 for the engine to die and 6 for it to blow up. Now, after the buff, it takes 4 for the engine to die, and then it kicks the player out with the 8th railgun shot. However, the 9th shot will blow it up. Again, it used to not kick the player out before this DLC, it would just blow up. Now, in regards to the explosive sniper rounds, before the buff, it would take 3 for the engine to die, and then 7 for it to blow up. It now takes 4 for the engine to die and 10 for it to blow up. And with this weapon, it actually doesn't kick the player out, it just blows up on the 10th hit. Very interesting. However, with how slow and how massive this thing is, I just don't think this buff is enough. Essentially only 1 extra homing missile before it's fully dead, but at least it gives you a slight chance to escape since it kicks you out. Now, continuing to the Sparrow, this one unfortunately still blows up with 1 homing missile or 1 railgun shot before and after the buff. However, it was improved a little in regards to the explosive sniper shots, where it now takes 5 to blow up instead of the 3 it used to take. Now, the most notable thing about the Sparrow's armor buff is the non-explosive armor. So before, with a special carbine Mark II with regular rounds, it would take about 164 rounds for it to blow up. Well, now it takes exactly double that at 328 rounds to blow up. Very impressive. That's going to be super useful against NPC enemies that always shoot at you in missions and stuff like that. And it takes double the damage for it to start smoking as well. Also, the fact that you can now aggressively land it about 4 times before it starts smoking. For those of you who remember, before it pretty much only took 1 aggressive landing for it to start smoking. This is a very noteworthy change for sure. You can also run it pretty hard right into a wall a few times and it doesn't blow up like before. It pretty much has double the non-explosive armor resistance that it used to. So that's the buff for the Bombushka and the Sparrow. The Bombushka buff really isn't all that great. However, the Sparrow buff is very noteworthy, especially for those of you who are always using this heli to grind missions and stuff like that, which most of us do. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.